Welcome to our channel, Hopeless Romantics and Believers in Unseen Connections. Tonight, we unveil a love story that shimmers on the edge of reality. It's a tale of stolen moments and a kiss felt by only two, set against the breathtaking backdrop of a deserted beach bathed in the golden glow of sunset. So, grab a steaming cup of cocoa, snuggle in, and prepare to have your heartstrings tugged. Let's dive in. The salty spray kissed Amelia's cheeks, mirroring the flutter in her stomach. The beach, usually a symphony of squealing children and booming laughter, was eerily silent today. The setting sun bled crimson and gold onto the vast canvas of the ocean, painting a backdrop unlike any Amelia had ever witnessed. It was a stage set for something extraordinary. There he stood, Ethan, a vision in a crisp white shirt, his smile like a lighthouse cutting through the gathering twilight. A lump formed in Amelia's throat, a cocktail of nerves and exhilarating anticipation bubbling within her. The roar of the crashing waves, usually a constant companion, seemed to fade, replaced by the frantic drumming of her heart. There were no vendors hawking their wares, no curious tourists snapping photos, just Ethan and Amelia, lost in their own universe. He held out his hand. His eyes, normally a sparkling blue, held an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. It was an intensity she recognized, a reflection of the emotions swirling within her own heart. As she slipped her hand into his, a jolt of electricity surged through her. A confirmation of the invisible thread that had always connected them. A thread they both desperately clung to in the years of yearning that separated them. Their walk towards the water's edge was a slow dance, their steps synchronized despite the uneven sand beneath their feet. The world around them ceased to exist. There were no curious onlookers, no vendors hawking their wares, just Ethan and Amelia, lost in their own universe. He reached the shoreline, the gentle waves lapping at their feet. Turning to face her, his gaze held a lifetime of unspoken promises. He cupped her face, his touch warm and real despite the disbelief buzzing in the back of her mind. Amelia, his voice a husky murmur, vibrated through her core, sending a thrill down her spine. Tears pricked her eyes. Ethan, she whispered back, her voice thick with emotion, a dam overflowing after years of holding back the tide. Then, he leaned in. Time slowed, the air crackling with anticipation. The warmth of his breath brushed against her lips, sending shivers cascading down her spine. She closed her eyes, savoring the moment, the feel of his calloused fingers brushing against her cheek, a touch that felt both familiar and utterly new. And then, their lips met. It was a kiss unlike any other. An explosion of emotions. Joy, relief, a touch of desperate longing for a connection that had felt like a distant dream for so long. Years of unspoken words, unspoken desires poured into that single touch. Her heart hammered against her ribs, threatening to burst from her chest. As they pulled away, breathless and exhilarated, a strange hollowness settled around them. Ethan's smile faltered, a flicker of confusion replacing the love in his eyes. "Did you see them, Amelia?" he asked, his voice laced with worry. "See who?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The world seemed to tilt on its axis. Ethan's gaze darted around the deserted beach, searching for the throng of people he swore were watching them. But the beach remained empty, bathed in the golden glow of the dying sun. Only the rhythmic whisper of the waves disturbed the serene silence. "The crowd, Amelia," Ethan said, his voice strained. "All these people staring at us." Amelia's heart lurched. She whipped around, searching for the spectators Ethan spoke of. But there was nothing. No chattering families, no curious couples stealing glances, just the endless expanse of sand and the vastness of the ocean meeting the horizon. "Ethan," she said, her voice trembling, a tremor of fear running through her. "There's no one here." A tear escaped her eye, tracing a salty path down her cheek. Ethan's worried expression morphed into a look of dawning comprehension. He cupped her face again, his touch a silent reassurance, a promise that chased away the fear that had threatened to engulf her. "It doesn't matter," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "All I see is you, Amelia. All I feel is you." And in that moment, bathed in the golden light of the setting sun, Amelia knew theirs was a love that transcended the physical world. It was a love that existed in stolen moments, in whispered promises exchanged under the cloak of night, and in the undeniable truth that resonated in the very core of her being. When her lips touched his, she was never truly alone. It was a love story written in the sand, a testament to a connection that defied the boundaries of reality. A love story witnessed only by the ever-watchful ocean and the setting sun. Welcome back, believers in soul connections and the whispers of the unseen. Tonight, we embark on a love story that unfolds amidst the bustling energy of a Parisian cafe, yet remains a secret shared only by two. The aroma of freshly baked croissants and strong coffee filled the air of Le Chat Noir, a Parisian cafe famed for its artistic clientele and intimate atmosphere. Here, amidst the vibrant chatter and clatter of cups, sat Eloise, a budding writer with fiery red hair and a notebook permanently glued to her hand. Lost in her world of words, she barely noticed the man who slipped into the seat across from her. A faint warmth, a sense of presence, drew her gaze upwards. A gasp escaped her lips. There he sat, Adrian, her childhood best friend turned secret love, the man who vanished without a trace years ago. His smile, etched with the same crinkles near his eyes that held a lifetime of shared secrets, was warm and familiar. Yet, a chilling truth settled in her stomach. Something was different. He seemed translucent, like a wisp of smoke in the cafe's warm light. Confusion warred with joy in Eloise's heart. She reached out, her hand instinctively drawn to his face, desperate to confirm the reality of this impossible reunion. It passed through him, a phantom touch sending a jolt of bittersweet longing through her. The cafe patrons, oblivious, continued their conversations, the bustling energy a stark contrast to the silent symphony playing out between Eloise and the ghost of her past love. "Can you see me?" Adrian's voice, a whisper carried on the steam from a nearby cup of espresso, reached her ears. Eloise nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. Tears for the years stolen, for the dreams they'd woven together and the painful silence that had followed his disappearance. "Yes, Adrian, I see you." They spent the afternoon reminiscing, their laughter, though silent to the oblivious patrons, a melody that resonated only between them. He recounted his adventures, his voice filled with a wistful longing for a life he could no longer fully embrace. She shared her dreams of becoming a published author, a dream they'd cherished together in their youth, dreams that had felt impossible to chase alone. As the afternoon sun dipped below the Parisian rooftops, casting long shadows across the cafe, a deep longing settled in Eloise's heart. "Let's keep no space between us," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion, echoing the yearning that had bloomed anew after years of silence. Adrian's spectral form flickered with sadness, the echo of a teardrop glistening in his translucent eyes. "The only space we can share, Eloise," he said, his voice a sigh on the breeze, "is the memory of a love that defied time. But even in whispers, our connection resonates." Their love story unfolded in stolen moments, a secret symphony played out amidst the clinking of spoons and the murmur of conversations that swirled around them. Eloise poured her emotions into her writing, capturing the essence of Adrian in her poignant prose. The cafe regulars, unaware of the invisible presence by her side, attributed the raw emotion in her writing to a recent heartbreak. One day, while reading aloud a passage filled with love and longing, a passage that mirrored the ache in her own heart, she felt a gentle warmth against her cheek. Looking up, she met Adrian's gaze, a single tear rolling down his translucent form. It was a farewell. He was fading, his purpose in lingering fulfilled, a final act of love to bridge the chasm between life and death. With a final, heartbreaking smile, Adrian whispered, "Write our story, Eloise. Let it be a testament to a love that defied the boundaries between life and death." His form shimmered and disappeared, leaving only a faint echo of his warmth and the lingering scent of his cologne in the Parisian air. Eloise, heartbroken but eternally connected, poured her grief and love into her writing. Her novel, a poignant tale of a love that transcended the veil, became a bestseller. A testament to a Parisian cafe love story witnessed only by two, and forever etched in the soul of a writer named Eloise. The bustling Café Le Chat Noir remained a silent witness, its worn tables and chipped cups holding the memory of a love story whispered on the wind. A love story that defied reality and resonated through the ages. Thanks for joining us on this bittersweet journey of love and loss. If this Parisian cafe love story tugged at your heartstrings, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tales of the extraordinary and the deeply romantic. We love hearing your thoughts in the comments below, so share your favorite moments and tell us what kind of paranormal love story you'd love to see next. Until next time, happy haunting and romancing.